you would see a link and also a code that is showing. You just go to nearpod.com. So, bienvenidos, welcome. Again, I'm gonna keep this short. I know that everybody's tired, and we are going to start working and our assessments and everything that we have to do. So go ahead and mute your microphones as well, so we don't have all that. Okay, let's begin. So again, everybody here should be enrolled in one of my Spanish courses, Fulton Virtual. We are a Fulton County program with Fulton County teachers. We cover all subjects that are taught in the classroom except for AP. That's something that we're looking to do next year, especially for those of you that are going to continue your Spanish studies. That's going to be great if you want to continue online. So our agenda, welcome you, a little bit about me. What are my expectations in my course? I know I have spoken with a lot of you already, but for those of you that have not spoken with, this will serve as that meet the teacher requirement, but also you can request a phone call if you have further questions. Then I'm going to go over navigation of the course. This is mainly for you parents, so you know if your student has any questions or has any concerns, you can try to help them. Course materials and requirements. Then we're going to go through grades, troubleshooting, speaking and writing, how to check for grades, and how to contact me. All right. So I have a little activity for you, so mainly for the students. So since you have enrolled in Spanish, I have logged in the course. You pick one of the answers and see, so we can see how you don't have to put your name if you don't want to, if you want to keep anonymous. Is everybody able to see the screen? The code for this presentation is at the top left side. Just go to nearpod.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So how do you feel about the course?
Yes. It's intense.
It's intense. Yes, it is intense. It is a new platforms for a lot of you as well. But I can tell you that this is our 4th year with world languages, and I have students are, oh my God, like they're juniors now, and they have kept up with our online program, and they are very good. They have kept up their learning up, and their proficiencies are very high. So it is not for everybody. It's a lot of reading involved. Also, if you want to have somebody guiding you every day, that's something that a lot of students miss. So, all right. So I have a lot of yes, I'm behind. That is okay with our course, especially if you started late. I know a lot of schools are working on enrollments, and it's a little crazy. So it is okay. You just have to catch up and do as much as you can, and you will get there. The best thing is that weekends and holidays are not factoring on the student in the calendar work, so it gives you an opportunity to catch up. I see a lot of people are very happy with the course, and everything's great. So I like to hear that.
Share?
Okay, I'm responding to some of you. Okay, so muy bien. I enjoyed that. A lot of you are very comfortable with the course so far, so that's great. So a little bit about me. I went to school in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm originally from Long Island, New York, um, and my parents are from the Dominican Republic. Um, I have a dog. She's 8 years old, and her name is Blake. And she is a handful sometimes. So if you call me and I'm at home, she starts barking. You know that it's my dog, Blake. Um, so yes, I've been in Fulton County for this is my ninth year now. I mainly taught in middle school, and then I started working in curriculum for the upper levels, high school levels. But my main focus are middle schoolers, getting you introduced into the language. Um, my expectations for this course, a lot of you have read my emails. I hope you're getting my emails. I want you to be an independent learner, and you're gonna hear me a lot about saying, "Did you read my email? Did you follow the instructions?" Because as an online learner, yes, I am available. I can come visit you at the school. I can talk to you on the phone, but most of the work you're gonna do on your own. So I want you to be able to go through the course, and when you get stuck, then get me involved so we can both work together. I ask you to stay on pace. If you're familiar with how the fall semester goes, is everything is good now, but then once we start getting closer to the holidays, you start getting jam packed with testing, trips, parties, and then family stuff, and it gets overwhelming. So try to stay on pace and on track. Submit your original work. A lot of the work that you're doing in my courses are submitting speaking and written um, assignments. Make sure that you are doing everything on your own, taking down notes, going over it. If you need help, make sure that you're contacting me. I send emails on Mondays and Fridays. I try to make sure that the rest of the week I keep in touch with you independently. But Mondays and Fridays, you should be looking out for my emails. That's just like me giving directions in the classroom. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure that you read my messages or the emails. So a lot of the answers are going to be there. Any questions so far? We're doing good. Okay. So, what does your daily work look like? Um, you should spend the hour at school that you are allotted. I always say 1 to 3 hours, depending on your proficiency skills. Obviously, the more that you practice, the better you're going to be at speaking Spanish. That is our goal, that you're able to have a full conversation, introductory conversation at this level, and I go over the different levels that we have. But at this point, the more you get acclimated with the words, with the grammar structure, the easier it will get. So if you're a full-time student at home, we have a lot of you are taking all of your courses at home. You are responsible for your own time. Weekends and holidays, like I mentioned, are freebies. So make sure that you're catching up during those times if you want to. I recommend to complete one lesson a day. Some of the lessons are very short, so you can complete more than one. Um, if you are a senior, keep in mind that you may have to complete the course earlier. That is because you need to have certain credits awarded to you. This is more critical in the spring semester because we start getting to your graduations. But for this semester, if you're graduating um, in December or in January, then you want to make sure that you have the course completed by when your counselor tells you. You may move ahead or slow down based on your level of comprehension. Like I've mentioned to you before, you if you slow down, your assignments will go past you. Um, but that's not penalizing you. They're going to be counting as zeros until you complete them. The only thing is that when the progress reports generate, if you have a lot of assignments that are past you, then you're going to have that low grade. But you can easily catch up and get your grade going. If you go ahead and click on this presentation, I've sent this a couple of times. This will tell you more about the course and the grade. Don't know if it's playing on your side. Are you able to click on it and go through it?
You mean in here in the Skype or?
Yes. You should be able on the Nearpod.
No.
No, it's not working.
No.
Okay.
For me.
I'll send you the link. I was afraid that I was going to have it, but never. I have sent it before this presentation, but I'll send it after the conference.
Yes, it's working.
Okay, good.
Now it's working.
Oh,
Yeah, it's working.
Technology. So that is a good segue. Because as you have found out, our platform is very glitchy, especially when it comes to Adobe and Flash and Java. You have to have your computer updated with the latest version of Flash. If you're using a county issue computer, whether it's at the media center, the computer lab, or your device that was supplied to you at the school, aside from Mac products, everything else should be able to work with Flash. And if you're using a county issue device, you have to let me know because that's something that we have to fix. If you're using a Mac product, there is an app that you can download for free, and it's called Puffin, Puffin, and that allows it's a browser, and that allows for our platform to work on your iPhone, Android, or iPad. If you're using a MacBook, Mac Air, all those personal devices, you have to use Google Chrome or Firefox because Safari doesn't have that Flash. Okay, the headphones that you need to use, I hope that you can see this. They need to have a microphone. If you have the earbuds from Apple, those work, and I'm talking about the cord, the ones that have the cord that you can plug in, not the wireless ones, because those have a microphone. The headset that you need to have, they need to have a microphone. If you work at school and you're taking my course, the school has to provide you a pair of headsets while you're at school. Some middle schools issue it so you can take it home. That is completely up to the school. But while you're at school, the school has to provide you a pair of headset. If that is not happening, let me know so I can make sure that you do. Okay? Again, anything that is county provided, your laptops, your iPads, devices, they need to make sure that they work. So, like, if you have an iPad from your school, the tech has to upload the Puffin app, and that they're gonna tell you if some of them, because some schools have banned it, but for us they have made an exception because that's how it works on iPads. Make sure that you have a notebook for my class. You have tons of materials. If you want to type it in a Word document or any other way that you can store information, that's fine. A notebook would allow you to write down the vocabulary, which helps you with spelling. A lot of kids print the vocabulary out and then they go over it. Make sure that you have a working email. The only emails that I can update are the students' emails. I cannot update parents' emails in the system. You have to go to the school for that. Okay? Now, this is how we assess your proficiency level. What do you think your proficiency level is? Proficiency is how much of the language do you know? What do you know? How can you communicate? In this level for Spanish 1, either you are in 7th grade, 8th grade, or you're in high school taking Spanish 1 or 2, you should be between novice low and novice high. But go ahead and circle. You should be able to draw in this picture. Okay.
My son's name isn't on there.
Let's see. Maybe did you put it in there? So I only have 12 people logged into the Nearpod.
Oh, how do you log into the Nearpod?
Okay, let us
Again.
Sir, I have logged in through iPhone, so I don't know if I can set
if you're logging through the iPhone, it might not give you all the capabilities.
Yes, exactly. We're logged into the iPad as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll send you this graph. I see a lot of you are in the novice low, which is correct. Novice mid, yes. This is, are you able to read, write, listen, and speak in the language effectively? It doesn't matter if you have an accent, as long as the receiver of the communication can understand the message, you will fall into one of these categories. And that's how I do in grading as well. There are some assignments like the indefinite articles and the conjugations where the grammar is what's being assessed. But when you're speaking, all I'm assessing is whether or not I can understand you. If you did, you're going to pass. Now, after that, then I'm going to look for the vocabulary that you use and your pronunciation. That's when you get the extra points to put you above a B or an A. But if I can understand you and I know what you're talking about, you're good. It takes practice, though. You have to practice before you submit. So by the end of, if you are in level 7 and 8, by the end of this level, you should be at a low mid. So notice that you do not change much throughout the levels. 7th and 8th grade are Spanish 1, and you are think about yourself as a kindergartner. You're learning new vocabulary, how to put sentences together, etc., etc. In Spanish 2, if you're taking my Spanish 2 course, then you would start, I need more vocabulary, more fluency as far as sentences goes. Now, Spanish 3, our Senora Perez is our Spanish 3 teacher. That course is more literature. Once you get to that level, now we're not looking so much for your speaking portion, but are you understanding and able to express yourself, express an opinion about a literary work, or we have a lot of news articles and things like that. Any questions about this graph?
No.
Okay. How do you ask for help? There are multiple means of communications. Texting is the fastest response. I get texts every single hour, and especially from my middle school students. I do not mind. If I'm in a meeting and I'm going in, sometimes I text you fast or I wait. Phone call, if I don't answer, make sure that you leave your name. Please leave your name. If you don't, then I won't know who you are. Email, if you are having a request that doesn't need immediate response, will be another good way for me, because that lets me know that I have to do that task. Genius messaging is the slowest response. That's because when you send me a message through Genius, then it comes to my personal inbox, and it might take a couple of minutes. I think it's 5 to 10 minutes. My availability, it's from 8 to 8. I know middle schoolers start at 8:55. So I get a lot of texts and phone calls around that time, and then throughout the day. After 8, I may or may not respond. Just leave me a message. Allow up to 3 hours for a response during the weekday. On the weekends, I'm not going to be around. I'm going to be honest. I may respond to a text, but if it's not urgent, go ahead and send me that email. So any of this means of communication is just like raising your hand. If I don't hear from you, then I don't know what's going on until I go through your course and I see that you are behind, and then we're going to have a conversation. And your parents are getting the progress report as well. Also, remember that you have 4 check-ins with me, and you can do those check-ins throughout any of these means of communications. So, any questions about this? Okay, muy bien. And the final thought is the weekly grade report. Again, that goes to your parents. Parents, if you want to know what the grade is, just go in as the student, have them log in, or you log in. As far as you don't do the work for them, that's all okay. But make sure that you are keeping up with that, because, like I said, students may go slower or faster depending on their proficiency. I definitely would let you know if there's an issue. You get the email from me or a phone call. You also get the progress report from the school. We don't put the assignments on the eSchool portal, but you can log in as a student and look at the assignments. Also, we have some students working on Blackboard. Make sure that for students, make sure that each assignment gets a green check mark for when you go, before you move forward. Unlocks and retakes. My policy is you can retake an assessment twice. If there's something that I'm working with you, especially I do this more for speaking, because that's what you need to be ready for the next level. We might do it more than once or twice. I may give you an alternative assessment as well. So do not feel that if there's an assignment that you are struggling with, I'm definitely going to work with you. And before you can start retaking assessments, I don't want to see past due assignments. So you have to be up to date before I can open that. Any questions?
My question is that on my assignment for Friday, I couldn't complete it because it said meet your teacher and asked me for a code.
Yes, that is the password for when we were having the phone call, and I will give you that at the end of the presentation, so you can go ahead and put it in there. So for this assignment, if you have any questions, concerns, or just tell me how you feel about the course, go ahead and type it in. If you need a one-on-one with me, go ahead and send me that email and I can give you a call. Other than that, this is it for tonight. I hope I have answered your questions. If not, let me know. I am very happy that you are in my course and I'm your instructor this semester, and we'll have fun. The password is HOLA, HOLA.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there an EOC at the end of this course?
Okay.
School?
Very good question. There are no EOCs for world language courses. There is a midterm and a final that they take anywhere, anytime, once they get to it.
Okay, great.
Any other questions? Well, thank you so much. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for spending some time. And
I have one question.
Yes.
So the midterm and the final, that's done at the school, or
It doesn't have to be at the school. You can take it at school, but you can take it anytime, anywhere, once the student gets to it. Everything needs to be completed by December 20th.
But it's online. The test.
Yes, everything is online. There were unless I give that specific student a different assessment where I have to show up at the school, and I've done that just a couple of times for different reasons. That's the only time that will happen. Everything else, it's in the platform.
Right.
Okay.
Do end of the week quizzes go on your yearbook or the grade book?
If the assignments that count on your grade are on the assignments list, if you go to your course and click on the red apple, the A+, then you'll be able to see the list of all your assignments with the value of each. We go by points. Each like the quizzes are between 15 to 25 points, and the maximum allotted points is 100. So you get the numerical in your report at the end of the course, but you can see all the assignments and their value. If you see that it says that I'm a target, if you're looking at Genius, that's not where you should be looking at. Where you need to go in is into your course, and I can show you. Let me show you this real quick. Okay, and so if you go into the assignment count, the red apple, then it's going to look like this. These are the grade to date are the assignments that you have completed, and that is your grade that I'll be reporting in your progress reports. Total points is the final grade after you have completed the course. If you are past due, obviously those are going to count as zeros until you complete them. But this is where you need to be looking at as far as your progress. By September, I believe it was September 4, it's in your syllabus. I gave you a list of dates. You should have 33% completed. Any questions about this page? No? Okay, well, I'm gonna stick around. If you're good, then you are good to go. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Buenas noches.